He's going to jail, ma'am.
Oh, come on, really?
Yes, ma'am. He's intoxicated driving.
Okay, it's Key West, really?
That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't think people have families here and it's okay to drive drunk? Is that what you think?
No.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Shut the
It doesn't mean Key West,
Shut up.
you're okay to drunk drive in Key West? Is that what you're saying?
No.
McCarty with the Key West Police. There's 2 reasons I'm stopping you. No lights.
Okay.
There's one.
Sorry.
The other, you almost hit the curb, and then you almost went into the left lane. Is there any legal reason for that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. License, registration, and insurance, please.
It's a rental car.
Okay. Why is your speech slurred? How much have you had to drink tonight, sir?
Well, I've had a few, but
Okay. Go ahead and step out.
How you doing?
Right back over here.
Yeah.
Okay. You're exhibiting a couple of signs of impairment. Okay. I'm just going to tell you. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. I can hear it in your speech, and I saw it in your driving pattern.
I hear you.
Okay. So you telling me that you had a few? How many is a few?
Well, I've had a few. So yeah.
Okay. Beer, wine, liquor. What was it?
Beer and Old Granddad and Coke.
And what?
Jack, Old Granddad and Coke. I had Jack and Coke because they don't have Old Granddad.
Don't put your hand in your pocket.
Sorry.
Do you think you're in a safe shape to drive right now?
Relatively, yes. I have like 5 miles to go.
The distance to go doesn't dictate whether or not you're safe to drive, right? Where are you from, sir?
Connected.
Connecticut? Okay. Where was your license? Did you have your license with you? Okay. Tell me where it is before you reach it. Okay. Yep, go ahead and give it for me, please. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can smell it coming off your breath, okay?
Officers say the driver was swerving, nearly hitting the curb, and drifting toward another lane. Then comes the part that makes the situation even harder to explain. The driver admits to having several drinks, including beer and Jack and Coke. The officer isn't relying on one clue here. He's looking at the driving pattern, the smell of alcohol, and the driver's speech. And when you're only 5 miles from your destination, that doesn't magically make the drive safer. In fact, officers point out that the route ahead includes a dangerous highway. At this point, the question isn't whether the driver can make it home, it's whether he should be behind the wheel at all.
Okay, did you guys have dinner? Had some drinks? Okay. And how many drinks do you think you had?
4.
Okay. And I heard you were drinking some beer and rum and cokes, is that correct? Or
Nope, I had 1 beer, and then I had a gin and tonic,
okay.
and then Jack and Coke.
Oh, Jack and Coke. Okay. So four drinks, 2 Jack and Cokes, 1 gin and tonic, 1 beer. Okay. So I have 3 exercises for you. Okay.
Yep.
They're pretty easy. The first one is called the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. So what I'm going to have you do for this, I'm going to have you stand right over here. I'm going to have you stand with your feet together, arms down by your side, just like you're doing. Beautiful. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you look at the tip of my pen right here. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. I want you to follow the tip of my pen with just your eyes and don't move your head. Okay. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. All right. Here, keep your head nice and straight.
Now the passenger gets a chance to explain her side of the night, and her story adds even more alcohol to the picture. She says they had dinner and drinks, eventually putting the number at 4. The officer then moves into field sobriety testing, starting with the eye test. This is where the investigation becomes more than just a questionable driving pattern. Officers are looking for physical signs that may indicate impairment and comparing those observations with everything they've already seen. The driver has already acknowledged drinking, and the officer says he observed several signs that concern him. Then comes a surprisingly direct question. On a scale from completely sober to extremely intoxicated, where does the driver think he falls? His answer is about halfway. Unfortunately, halfway isn't exactly reassuring when you're operating a vehicle.
Turn and face away from me. Face the Walgreens over there. Keep your hands behind your back. Walk over here just to the back of your car,
If
okay?
I said yes, would you let me go?
No. I am not the person that, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass kind of thing.
No,
but
I just asked.
since you asked, I will talk about it.
No.
No, absolutely. It would not have changed anything, okay?
Okay, ma'am. So where we're at right now is he's being arrested for DUI, okay?
Okay.
So you've probably had something to drink tonight too?
Yeah. of
Okay.
course.
So we can't let you drive away either. So you're going to have to
Okay.
facilitate a ride, but it can't be in this vehicle. Okay?
Okay.
So if you want to gather your belongings and step out, you can work on getting yourself a ride, obviously, and we'll stay here with you while that happens. But unfortunately, he's in the...
Yes, ma'am.
My son is a police officer
Here?
in Connecticut.
Okay.
I know, but that's the second time you told me that. That doesn't. What does that mean?
So, like,
He's being arrested for DUI. Okay. You're in no shape to drive yourself.
Right.
So we're going to have to tow the vehicle, and you need to gather whatever belongings you have, and then get it right. So we only have the one jail. He's going to go to the jail. They're more than likely release him tomorrow. Okay. And then you can go from there. But as of where we are right now, this is what we have to do. I mean, we have to protect the public.
At this point, the passenger appears to realize that mentioning her son is a police officer isn't going to change the outcome. She brings it up again, but the officer calmly explains that it doesn't affect what is happening here. The vehicle is going to be towed, the driver is being arrested for suspected DUI, and she now needs to figure out another way home. The officers also make it clear that they believe the driver was too impaired to safely operate the vehicle. This is where the vacation starts becoming considerably more expensive. Instead of heading back to wherever they were staying, they're now dealing with an arrest, a tow, and a completely different night than the one they planned.
He's going to jail, ma'am.
oh, come on, really?
Yes, ma'am. He's intoxicated driving.
Okay, it's Key West, really?
That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't think people have families here, and it's okay to drive drunk? Is that what you think?
No.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It doesn't mean Key West,
Shut up.
you're okay to drunk drive in Key West? Is that what you're saying?
No. People drink and drive in Key West.
And they get arrested for it. Yes, ma'am. It is against the
Okay,
law, and
he
it's
had-
very unsafe.
He had a few drinks. He's
right.
not out of his mind drunk.
He's drunk. Work on getting yourself a ride. Unless you'd like to go with us.
What do you mean?
I mean, go to the drunk tank. Would you like to do that? If you have nobody to take care of you, we'll take you to the drunk tank. I suggest you work on getting yourself a ride.
Oh my God.
And this is where the passenger's frustration really takes over. She apparently cannot believe her husband is being arrested during their trip to Key West. But the officer gives her a very simple explanation. Being on vacation doesn't create a special exception to impaired driving laws. Her argument that people drink and drive there doesn't exactly help her case either. The officer tells her to arrange a ride, but instead she keeps demanding to know where her husband is. Then comes the warning. Continue interfering and she could end up going to jail too. At this point, she has been given several chances to simply step away and make a phone call. Unfortunately, she seems determined to choose the option with the worst possible ending.
What are you going to do? Are you going to leave here on your own accord, or are you going to go to jail? Because I have a whole extra empty seat and a whole pair of handcuffs with no wrists in them. So what would you like to do?
Look at you, you big man.
Don't worry, it's okay to drive
man.
drunk. We're in Key West,
Okay.
according to her.
My son is a fucking cop.
No,
okay?
he's in the academy. He is not a cop.
And that doesn't get you anything.
Take your purse off.
Excuse me.
No.
No.
Let's go. Let's
Oh
go.
my God, you fucking
Let's
asshole.
go. Nancy, we got the
Oh my
other one.
God.
Let go of the purse,
No.
man. Yes. You don't
No.
get to hold on to it.
Okay, let go. Okay. Nope. My phone and
Yes.
my fucking...
You don't get to hold your property. This all could have been avoided.
And now that warning becomes reality. After repeatedly refusing to leave the situation alone, the passenger decides she wants to go with her husband. Officers begin placing her under arrest, and suddenly the argument shifts to her purse, phone, and contacting her daughters. The officers repeatedly explain that her belongings will go with her and that she can make calls once she's processed. But by now, the situation has gone far beyond the original traffic stop. What could have ended with her arranging a ride home has turned into another arrest. The officer even points out the obvious. This entire part of the night was avoidable. Unfortunately, that realization arrives after the handcuffs.
That I need to get in touch with. Oh my God.
Now you're going to jail for
Take
resisting.
it off. Take it off. Nope. I have daughters that I need to get in touch with.
Man, this was completely unnecessary.
Okay, so take it off.
No.
No.
Now you're going to
See,
jail for resisting.
You can't.
You got yourself a charge. Congratulations.
Completely avoidable.
I have daughters that I need to get
You
in
can
touch
call them
with.
from jail.
What is this?
Like you said, completely avoidable.
I have
You said you
daughters
wanted to
that
go
I
to
need
jail,
get
and now
in
you get
touch
your
with.
wish.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Widen out your
Excuse me.
stance.
Excuse me. Can I talk to my daughters from
Nope.
there?
When you get to jail, you can call them from the jail phone. You can stare at me all you want.
I have daughters. I need tacos. Excuse me.
You can call them from jail.
Okay, am I gonna get my phone back?
It'll be in your jail property.
Can I talk to my kids?
When you get
Can
to
I
jail.
talk to my kids?
When you get to jail.
Get in.
Okay, you stupid mouth.
Thank you, ma'am.
Stupid.
Calm down.
You're very classy.
Calm down.
Remember, Google 5-star review.
By this point, there isn't much left to negotiate. She's still trying to explain that she needs to contact her daughters while officers tell her she can make those calls from the jail. The situation has now added a second arrest to the original DUI investigation. According to the officers, she is being taken in for resisting arrest after refusing repeated instructions and continuing to interfere with the scene. The irony is that the officers had already given her a very simple alternative: arrange a ride and go home. Instead, the vacation ends with both spouses spending the night behind bars. The husband faces the DUI charge while the passenger faces a resisting arrest charge. One bad decision started the night and several more followed right behind it.
So you don't have a valid prescription?
You just walked up to my window.
Bridget, you haven't had a valid prescription for 2 months, so technically you can be arrested right now for possessing that.
Yes, I do.
This is a card.
Yeah, and it's
Your
valid.
prescription expired June 29th, 2 months ago. You do not have a valid prescription right now to possess it.
Do you want to step out for a minute?
She's got a medical card, but
Okay.
For what?
ma'am, step out of the vehicle.
Can I ask?
We're telling you to step out of the vehicle.
But I'm just asking.
Because we have the right to ask anybody to step out of the vehicle.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just asking. I'm just wondering.
Making it difficult.
I'm not being difficult at all. I'm supposed to go to DMV to get it. I passed my test.
So you haven't had one yet?
No.
All right, hop out here. What are you huffing and puffing at me for?
Just aggravated.
Aggravated? Go stand right back there. You search. There's.
I can see a joint over here and stuff.
They're over here smoking. Her eyes are all blazed up. Do what? What'd you say?
I said she didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I don't understand. We weren't participating.
Okay. Well, you can't have marijuana. It's got to be in a dispenser, right? Container.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's right there on the floor.
On the floor?
Yeah. Isn't there a joint down there on the floor?
I mean, if it's smoke, then that's...
You can't smoke it in public.
I wasn't smoking in public. I smoked it in my car at my house.
Right. That's public.
It's not public. That's in my driveway.
The moment deputies ask her to step outside, the attitude changes. She insists she's done nothing wrong and immediately starts challenging the officers over why she's being asked to get out. Meanwhile, deputies say they can see marijuana inside the vehicle and smell burnt cannabis. At this point, the situation isn't really about the food anymore. The officers are trying to figure out exactly who has been using the marijuana, where it came from, and whether anyone actually has a valid prescription.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you asked what you did wrong. I just explained it to you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know anything. Sorry.
I don't need you to say anything. You asked what you did wrong, and I explained it.
I guess you seen a roach on the floor, like on speed.
No, well, it smells like burnt cannabis in there.
It's because I smoke in my car, sir. I smoke my medicine in my car.
Okay.
In my driveway. Not in public.
Go ahead.
You need a parent to come get you because there's weed in the car. You're only 15.
So me and Bridget were just sitting in the car, she was eating her Wendy's, and I saw you pass with I saw your car pass, and then there was like the undercover cars, but we weren't doing anything, we were just chilling there, she's finishing her food, and then they pulled up on us, knocked on the window, and now they're searching Bridget's car, so they need you to pick me up. There was no weed being smoked or no.
There wasn't?
No. There was no smoke in the car, sir. Did you see it? And that's fine, because like I said, I smoked in my car. I smoked my medicine in my car. Yes, I have all that stuff in my car. And we turned around, there was smoking on the window. When I pulled up, did you see smoke coming out of my car?
60.
When you guys were down there, did you see smoke coming out of my car?
Instead of letting the officers finish explaining the situation, she keeps pushing back with her own version of events. She says she wasn't smoking and claims the marijuana was used earlier at home. The problem is that officers say they can smell burnt cannabis coming from the vehicle and have also located what appears to be a joint. Now they're calling a parent because one of the girls is only 15, while the other is about to discover that her medical marijuana explanation may not hold up.
Hey, Mom, I'm sitting here eating my Wendy's, and then I seen one of them pulled up behind me. Not even behind me, they were like way up the road, and they were just sitting there watching me, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just eating my Wendy's. You know, minding my own business. And then next thing I know, a different one pulls up, the same one from earlier pulls up right behind me, and a different one in the truck pulls up, and he's like, get out the vehicle, don't be difficult, da 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 da. And
We all have body cams on. We definitely didn't say it like that.
And he's just being a dickhead. Like, they're all just being dickheads. They just searched my car. He's talking about, it smells like weed. I said, yeah, I have my medical marijuana card, which I smoke it at the house. He's talking about, oh, so you guys weren't smoking just now? No, I was sitting here eating my Wendy's. So I don't know, like, they're just being snotty as they're being snotty, like, I don't even know, like, they're like being entitled right now.
She calls her mother and gives her side of the story, describing the deputies as rude and insisting she was simply sitting there eating Wendy's. That's understandable from her perspective, but the officers have a very different view of what they encountered. She repeatedly argues that the marijuana was stored in a container, apparently believing that solves the problem. Unfortunately, there's one detail she doesn't know yet. Deputies are checking whether that medical authorization is actually valid.
She doesn't have a valid prescription for 2 months. So.
She's 15 as well.
Huh?
She's 15.
Yeah, no, she's an adult. I got a parent coming somewhere.
That's your mom?
So, if we want to hook her, we can. I mean, the mouth alone is. Huh? Okay. So you don't have a valid prescription?
He just walked up to my window.
Bridget, you haven't had a valid prescription for 2 months, so technically you can be arrested right now for possessing that.
Yes, I do.
This is a card.
Yeah, and it's valid.
Your prescription expired June 29th, 2 months ago. You do not have a valid prescription right now to possess it. So you're...
And now comes the part that changes everything. Deputies check the medical marijuana database and say her prescription expired about 2 months earlier. So the argument about how the marijuana was stored suddenly becomes much less important. According to the officers, she is an adult and is now being taken into custody for possessing marijuana without a valid prescription. She immediately starts calling her mom and protesting, but the decision has already been made.
1 second.
Oh, it's not?
What are you talking about?
She's 18, she can go.
No, he just came up to my window. He didn't pull me over. I was parked.
Okay.
No, I did not. I did not give them any type of consent. I said, why?
Do you just want to take her?
Man, get out of the vehicle.
Huh?
And I said,
Okay. Put the phone down.
no, they're arresting me. They're arresting me. They're arresting me. They're
Put the
arresting
phone
me.
down.
Jay.
Put the phone down. On your back. You do not have a valid prescription.
No, they're arresting me. What are you guys arresting me for?
She's an adult, we can tell her, okay? We don't need to tell you. Stop! Stand up like an adult. Come on. Stop.
This is where the situation really falls apart. She argues that she was parked and never gave the officers permission to do anything, while deputies repeatedly tell her to put the phone down and cooperate. Within seconds, she's being placed in handcuffs. She insists she wasn't resisting, but officers tell her to stop struggling and act like an adult. What could have ended with a warning or a ride home has now become an arrest, and the more she argues, the more tense everything gets.
I wasn't even resisting, bro. Y'all were just, y'all strong. God damn. I am listening.
Open. Do you have anything else on you?
I don't have anything.
Or not have been.
She was eating while they pulled in.
Spell your last name?
She was.
Oh my God.
Yep, all that was in the vehicle with your daughter. So since she's a minor,
Yeah, I know.
since she's a minor, I'm gonna release her to an adult.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
But they got Bridget.
She will not ever be doing anything like this again.
hopefully she doesn't hang out with her and again.
Oh, she never will.
They want to speak
Ever.
to y'all.
I don't need to speak to
They
them.
don't want to speak to y'all.
No, you hang up. I don't know who that is. Will her parents be contacted?
She's an adult.
Oh.
It's an adult meeting. Have a good day.
I don't believe that you were doing this, but you can be hanging around. You're able to be released.
Detective Malta said that there was a joint in the cup holder between them, so technically she could have been charged because it was right in between of where they both
You
were
say
sitting.
thank you then,
Thank you.
and you get your behind home. And can she come with you?
Yep,
Sam?
I'm releasing her to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Her mother arrives and gets the explanation from the deputies. They tell her that marijuana was found inside the vehicle, and because her daughter is a minor, she's being released to an adult. The officers also explain that the marijuana was located between the two occupants, meaning there were additional questions about who it belonged to. The younger passenger avoids the arrest, but her friend isn't getting the same outcome. According to the video's conclusion, the teenager was charged with multiple misdemeanors, including resisting without violence, and the case was still ongoing at the time of publication. What began with two teenagers sitting in a parked vehicle ended with one going home and the other leaving in handcuffs. A reminder that once the argument starts escalating, the situation can change very quickly.
He did sign a citizen's arrest form. I'll tell you right now. Okay. So you're gonna have to go to jail.
For how long?
That's not up to me. Okay. So come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Put your hands behind your back for me, okay? I remember the last time I was out here, there was issues with like another guy.
Right.
So is it like the same issue?
No, it's a whole dude. Whole nother dude. And then so she come up into my room trying to kick me out and shit. And I wasn't even doing nothing to her because her boyfriend was texting her, talking crazy to her.
Talking. What does that mean?
Apparently he was threatening her or some shit. And then she took my phone while we were upstairs. Wouldn't give it back at all. She'd come out here, open the door, threw my phone, and literally fucking cracked it. And then she threw my shit out here. And then I tried to go back in, and she
threw this stuff out here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then she tried blocking me from going back in the house. And then when I got into like the doorway where the side that he's standing on, she fucking just started hitting me.
What'd she hit you?
Just in the arms and shit. And then
Any injuries or anything?
No.
Need medical attention at all?
No.
Okay. So she started punching you?
She just started slapping me and shit. And I was like,
How many times she slapped you?
she hit me like at least 5 or 6.
At first, this sounds like a pretty typical relationship argument, but there are already several things for deputies to sort out. He says Haley wanted him out after an argument involving her ex, then claims she took his phone, threw it outside, and later hit him when he tried to get back inside. None of that automatically tells us the full story, so the officers now have to separate the emotions from the actual evidence. And that damaged phone may become much more important than anyone expects.
Okay. And just to your arm?
Well, yeah, because I like blocked my fucking body and shit.
Okay.
And then that's when I called you guys.
Okay. And have you been out here ever since? Or?
No, I was inside. Dispatch had us separate, so I went to the bathroom.
So
And
she
then-
hit you a couple times.
Yep.
She threw your cell phone.
and then threw my shit out.
Okay. And after she hit you, what happened?
I called you guys and I was on the phone with dispatch
And where were you at in the house?
in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Okay. So she hit you in her arms, and she used both hands?
According to his account, the argument didn't end when the phone went outside. He says Haley slapped him several times, and that was when he called police. He also tells deputies he had nowhere else to go, which explains why he was still at the home despite being told to leave. Now officers have two competing issues to consider: an alleged physical confrontation and a disagreement over who had the right to be inside the house. And they still haven't heard Haley's version.
Okay. Hi, Haley. What's going on tonight?
I just want to know.
Okay. That's not all that happened tonight. What happened tonight?
I threw his phone out the door
Okay. You threw his phone out the door. Why'd you throw his phone out the door?
because he wouldn't leave.
Okay, well, he has standing here, does he not? Like he lives here?
For 2 weeks.
We got here before and he was living here.
Yeah,
and
but
that was months ago.
He willingly left and went to his sister's house and stayed there for about a month.
Regardless, he took his phone, he threw it out. What else happened?
As soon as I threw the phone out, I went to shut the door and he stepped in the door.
Okay. Then what happened?
That's it.
That's it.
And then he was like, I'm calling the cops, you put your hands on me and this and this and that. That's all that happened. I slammed the door shut on him.
Okay. You didn't touch him at all?
No.
You didn't hit him?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not put my hands on him.
Okay, so if we look at the video footage from that camera right there.
I did not put my hands on him. Look at it. Please.
It's not going to show you slapping him.
No.
It's not going to show you pushing him.
No.
Now it's Haley's turn to explain what happened, and her story is noticeably different. She admits throwing his phone outside, but says she did it because he refused to leave. She claims that when she tried to close the door, he stepped into the doorway, and she says she never struck him. That puts the officers in a difficult position because both sides are describing the same moment very differently. So instead of simply choosing one story, they're looking for something that can actually verify what happened.
Nothing like that.
No. I slammed the door shut on him.
That's the only camera.
Okay. Sit that right there for me, okay. What's that do?
I said that's the only camera that's over here.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's pretty adamant she didn't put hands on you.
I hope it shows it.
And she put hands on you. Okay. So, you just wanted him out of the house. What, like, how did this all start?
My ex-boyfriend and him, he invited my ex-boyfriend over last weekend, and they were drunk for 3 days straight together, going back and forth about me and this and this and that, talking about how they both have, the way they have sex with me, this and this and that. We've been fighting about this for the last week, and I'm just over it. And then he starts texting him tonight, talking about, I'm with Rakeem and...
Haley is confident that the nearby security camera will prove her side of the story. She repeatedly tells the deputy that the footage won't show her hitting or pushing him. Then the conversation shifts to why the argument started in the first place. She brings up her ex-boyfriend, messages, threats, and a long-running dispute that had apparently been building for days. Suddenly, this isn't just about one phone being thrown. There's a much bigger relationship conflict underneath everything, and the officers are trying to figure out where the physical confrontation fits into it.
Anyway, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
He started texting him saying I was talking to some guy, Rakeem, and then Zay started texting me sideways talking about, you're with Rakeem and this and this and that. We better pray for you and your little babies and this and this and that. He said, you two and your 2 kids, for goodness sake, I'll keep them in my prayers. And then,
Who is this, your ex-boyfriend?
yeah. But these are all things that he was told by AJ, which are not true.
Who's AJ?
Him.
Oh, okay. Did they say anything?
They didn't see any of it. They just heard the yelling.
That guy walked out. He's going to try and call his wife to get access to the camera.
I did not put my hands on him. No. I slammed the door on him. I did. I slammed the door trying to shut it before he came back in.
Okay. But you threw his phone out here too, correct?
Yes, I did do that.
And why did you throw it?
Haley says the situation started after messages involving her ex became increasingly hostile. She claims she was tired of the constant arguments and wanted him out of the house. That may explain why she was frustrated, but the deputies still have to focus on what allegedly happened during the confrontation. She has already admitted throwing his phone, while the boyfriend says she also hit him. Now officers are trying to locate camera footage that could help settle the biggest question: what happened at that doorway?
It's really easy to create standing at a residence in California. So what I would recommend to you is to go through the formal eviction process, okay? And have them formally evicted. And I know that's obviously probably, I know.
I'm gonna be dead before he gets out.
What do you mean?
That man has put hands on me. We have police records. I cannot do this shit. He cannot. I need him out. He was almost arrested in Eureka for putting hands on me, putting bruises on my body. I had bumps on my head. I cannot keep doing this.
Okay. Why wasn't he arrested?
Because I said I don't want to press charges and I left. I'm not leaving my house.
I need him to leave my house.
Haley insists the house is hers and says she has been trying to get him out for some time. The deputy explains that simply being on the lease doesn't necessarily settle the issue and tells her that formal eviction may be the proper route. Haley clearly doesn't want to hear that. She describes previous problems with him and says she feels trapped in a situation she can't keep repeating. But the investigation is narrowing in on one specific incident tonight, and her frustration with the larger relationship may not answer what happened during this confrontation.
Okay. So let's get back to what happened. So there's some conversation between him and your ex.
And it led to threats, and I told him I can't do this. If you're going to be talking shit about me, causing people to threaten me in my home, you need to get out. I let you stay here as a courtesy so you had somewhere to go.
Okay. And then what happened after that? Like, what happened leading up to you throwing this phone?
I took his phone from upstairs. I came downstairs. I sat on the couch. I told him multiple times, please step outside and I'll hand you your phone. Please leave and I'll give you your phone. Please, please just leave. Like, please. And he said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And I threw the phone outside. Not my brightest moment, but I did. I threw the phone outside. He went to go get it. And as soon as I went to slam the door shut, he was already in the door, stopping me, shoving me and the door backwards. I got stuck behind the back of the door. I did not put my hands on him.
Talk to me over here real quick.
Haley now gives the clearest version of her side of the actual incident. She says she took his phone, brought it downstairs, and repeatedly asked him to leave before she would return it. When he refused, she admits throwing the phone outside. She then says he went after it and entered the doorway as she tried to close the door, claiming he pushed the door back toward her. She continues to deny putting her hands on him. At this point, the deputy has heard both stories, and now the evidence matters.
Okay. So based off of what you're describing to me, they're misdemeanors, right? So because you guys were in a relationship, you guys have 2 kids in common, that would qualify as domestic violence in California. But because you don't have any injury, correct? No injury? And it was this arm?
Like, it still stings, but like...
It stings?
Yeah, but...
Okay, so like complaint of pain?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like
but no
it's like
formal,
right here.
No formal injury, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, there might be scratches there. I don't know.
I'll be honest, it doesn't really look like it to me.
Yeah.
Because there's no like visible injury, it's going to qualify as misdemeanor domestic violence. The other issue is your phone. It's technically vandalism. Okay. So what?
After speaking with both sides, the deputy explains why the relationship between these two matters legally in the investigation. They had been together for years, share 2 young children, and had recently been intimate, so officers are treating the alleged assault as a domestic violence matter. The deputy also explains that there doesn't appear to be a significant visible injury, which affects how the allegation is classified. But there's another problem sitting right in front of them, the damaged phone. Haley openly admits throwing it, and that could create a separate issue.
You would need to sign a citizen's arrest form for the vandalism to your phone. You said it probably costs like
$50.
$50, so that would be misdemeanor vandalism. Because she openly admitted to throwing your phone, and there's clearly damage to your phone screen. So you would need to sign a citizen's arrest form for that, because I didn't witness them. Is that something that you're willing to do? Okay. So essentially what that entails is you'd sign the citizen's arrest form saying, hey, these things, although Deputy Plummer didn't witness these things happened, they're true, and everything's true. If it came out in court that these things weren't true for some reason, and I'm not saying they're not, but I just gave everybody this spiel. If it came out in court that these things weren't true, you could be held civilly liable, which means she could civilly sue you. Is that something you're willing to sign? Yeah. Okay. If you could just hold your phone up for me so I can document the condition. And it wasn't damaged in any way, shape, or form?
Just up here.
This was damaged prior?
Yeah.
Okay, but this was not damaged prior.
This right here was...
That top part was damaged.
This part right here was, but all this
was not. This was freshly damaged tonight when she threw your phone in.
Yep.
Okay.
This is where the damaged phone becomes much more than an argument between two former partners. Because the deputy didn't personally witness the alleged vandalism, he explains that the boyfriend can sign a citizen's arrest form regarding the damage. He is also warned that signing it means he is taking responsibility for saying the allegation is true and may have to appear in court. After hearing the explanation, he agrees to sign. And once that paperwork is completed, Haley is about to find out that the argument is no longer just an argument.
He did sign a citizen's arrest form. I'll tell you right now. Okay. So you're gonna have to go to jail.
For how long?
That's not up to me. Okay. So come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Put your hands behind your back for me, okay? Put your hands behind your back for me. Okay. Do you have anything inside that you need, that you want to go to jail with you? No. Just your phone in your back pocket? Is that all you need? Yeah. You want shoes? Yeah. You want some? Can we get you socks? You probably don't want to be barefoot in there. Can we grab you something? I'm gonna get your phone out of your back pocket here, okay?
I don't want to go to jail.
Okay.
I don't want...
Okay. Come on. Come with me. Wait right here for me, okay? I'm gonna take your vape out of your hand.
What the fuck? Can I talk to him for a second?
I don't think he wants to talk to you. Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat, please.
Please, can I see one of my babies with these?
I already got you in handcuffs. You're already out here. I can't let you go back in the house, okay? Go ahead.
The paperwork is signed and the consequences arrive almost immediately. Haley is told she's going to jail and the shock hits her all at once. Officers help her gather what she needs and make sure she isn't left barefoot, but there's no quick way to undo what's already happened. What started with an argument over trust, an ex-boyfriend, and getting someone out of the house has now turned into an arrest. According to the video's conclusion, the case involved multiple misdemeanor charges, including resisting without violence, leaving a personal dispute with very real legal consequences.